Welcome to the Super Expander podcast. My name is Corrine Phelps, your host. I'm a business and growth coach, money mindset expert, and a multi-passionate entrepreneur. My journey has taken me all over, from working in finance to owning a boutique fitness studio. I found myself burnt out, miserable, and questioning everything. Saying things to myself like, there's got to be more to life than this. Refusing to settle for a mediocre existence, I went all in, learning how to harness untapped potential and rewire the subconscious mind to create an extraordinary life. The last 10 years have been a crash course in self-love, building a business, creating community, building wealth, and doing what it takes to just freaking go for it. My mission is to help you align to your purpose, rewire your subconscious to support your big dreams and vision, and create a life that you're absolutely obsessed with. So sit back, tune in, and prepare to expand. Hello, my super expander loves. How are you doing? So I'm diving into something juicy today, and I thought I would do this because I had a client ask me about this just the other day, and I thought this was actually the perfect conversation for the podcast here. So my client asked me, how do you tell the difference between intuition and overthinking, intuition and ego, intuition and your conscious brain? How do you tell the difference? And I think that this is actually pretty universal. I'm not going to fully say that it's every single person because everyone's unique, but from all the conversations I've had surrounding intuition and how do you tell the difference? So intuition is, for most people, something that is way less verbal. It's way more silent, almost textural, if you will. It's a sense, it's a feeling that you can't always intellectualize. Makes sense? It's almost this for me, it presents itself when it's intuition. It's like in the center of my gut. I'm like, ooh. And that could manifest in a way of like, if it's an absolute no, my gut kind of clenches up and is like, no way. And with that deep voice too. No way. That's my gut telling me, don't do it. And if it's like an absolute hell yes, intuitive, my body like vibrates. I will get these sort of like the hairs on my arms will stand up, like full body chills, if you will, that I'm like, ooh, And sometimes I'll even in my ears, I'll get this feeling of like, sounds like the lightsabers going over my ear, like vroom. And then I know it's like, oh, this energy is like powerful. I'm going to lean into this. This feels really good and exciting. Noticing these things takes practice though, because if we have been in a place where we have really turned the volume down on these feelings and sensations, they start to become just like this whisper that we often become desensitized to hearing. So it becomes a practice of really tapping in and paying attention to what you're feeling. So it takes mindfulness, it takes presence to be able to really know whether it's your ego and fear and doubt and conscious brain trying to keep you safe, trying to block you, all the things, or it's really being intuitively guided, intuitively led. And here's another thing that I have learned about intuition and really taking action when it speaks to you. When you get that hunch, that feeling, that sense, and we don't act on it, we don't acknowledge it, this can start to send your brain into a spin, which feels like that conscious brain. They're in this like battle of like back and forth. And then it becomes so hard to tell what is what. So what I'm going to do here is give you a couple of tips on how you can start to, I gave you the clues in your body how to differentiate. But if you find yourself in a spin, when we keep kind of gripping and reaching for the answer when they're in that place and you're like, is this my ego? Is this intuition? What is going on here? The best thing to do is to bless and release and give yourself some space And the answer is really going to show you, like deep down, your intuition is going to show up if you really just breathe through it, give yourself some space. So what I really recommend doing is if you're in this, like, I don't really know, is to turn off all of the noise, music, all of the things, and get outside and go for a walk. Just try to tune out the thoughts for a little bit, clear your mind, ground a little bit, even maybe take your shoes off and put them into the earth. Breathe a little. Go for a walk and allow your mind to clear. And I really would recommend a long walk, because clarity, when we are outside and walking and we start to get in this rhythm, it becomes almost like a walking meditation, if you will. And the answers really will start to reveal themselves for you in a clear way. I have a question for you. Have you joined the Super Expander free mentorship community? If not, what are you waiting for? Stop what you're doing right now and text the word mentor to 202-918-3235. Text the word mentor to 202-918-3235. I send out weekly tips and inspiration to help you grow your business, to step into your wealthiest, most highest self, to harness your full potential and live an exceptional and extraordinary life. And the best part is, it's really me sending those messages. So text me, say hello, and send me your questions. When you set out for this walk, it's probably going to be difficult at first to quiet your mind, but continue to allow the thoughts to come in and let them go. This is really kind of that mindfulness practice, like letting them come in, acknowledging them, and letting them leave over and over and again. And then what will happen is these intrusive cyclical thoughts will start to settle and dissipate, and it will leave this open, clear canvas for your intuition to start to come through, to start to speak to you. And there will be a moment, and it will just all of a sudden be so crystal clear what the answer is. The thing that you have been overthinking, the thing that you weren't really sure about, you're like, I just know that this is the right thing to do. And the thing that you must do when this answer comes through is you absolutely have to take action on it, because what will happen if you don't is you'll be back in the same spot very shortly, right? It's that spin of like your conscious brain coming in to try to talk you out of it. So when you're in the energy of it and you know it's your intuition, all that is to be done is not to ask of making sense of it. It is not for you to try to control. All that's there is for you to lean in and take the action. One other indicator, which I forgot to mention before, is that when your intuition is speaking to you, very typically it is accompanied by a feeling of relaxation, not of anxiety. There's this calm feeling that will often start to wash over you, often referred to as that deep sense of knowing, that inner knowing. And because your intuition really is located, essentially, it comes from our subconscious mind. The thing that our subconscious mind loves is speed. So your intuition loves speed, intuitive action. When the insight, the hit comes through, do the thing. So we're keeping this one super short and sweet because I want to give you the time and the space to go take your intuitive actions right now. So if this is something that you are struggling with, you need more support, I also often recommend deep breathing. Well, of course, hypnobreathwork is one of my favorite ways, but also just cyclical breathing can allow you to start to wash the canvas to be just this more of a blank slate so that you can open yourself up to the answer. So just really, if you're feeling that question in your mind that's like, is this my intuition or is this my ego or fear or doubt or anxiety, is to just close your eyes for a moment and practice some box breaths, right? It's like, 4 in, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. That one will always do it. And if you're really in an amplified state of anxiety, we want to slow that exhale down without any holds. Maybe trying that 7-11 breath where we breathe in for 7. Exhaling out for 11. It is one surefire way to really reset your nervous system, to really drop down and regulate the parasympathetic and get into more of a rest and digest place, because that is when we tap into intuition, is when we're in that place. When we're in fight and flight, we really can't feel it. So breath work is definitely the gateway to opening up your intuition. If you like what you heard, stop, drop, and leave a 5-star review and hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And as always, sharing is caring, so snap a pic and share this episode with another super expander.